For sure. So before we get you out of here, John, we are going to talk a little bit this current team. Obviously, it's Georgia week. It is Thanksgiving. Technically, this is coming out on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
It's rivalry week.
It's rivalry week.
Hate Georgia, which I hate more than pretty much Clemson.
Yeah. That, you know what's funny? I used to hate Georgia more than Clemson until Clemson started winning, and then it got pretty unbearable. But no, my hatred for Georgia is very much up there. I grew up like on the border of South Carolina and Georgia, so you obviously get it from the Dog fans. And yeah, the Gamecocks coming in this one looking to make it 2 in a row over Georgia. Obviously, that huge upset last year. Listen, we all know the challenge going in this game Saturday night. You're probably going to be starting a true freshman quarterback in Luke Doty, which I think is going to be awesome. If it happens, it'll be awesome. It's exciting. It'll get you on the edge of your seat. But we all know, again, the task at hand, Georgia, what they bring to the table. JT Daniels now been inserted. He throws for 400 last week, and I'd say they probably have one of the better defenses in the entire country. I'll ask you, not even so much on the game Saturday night, but this rivalry as a whole, because I would certainly call it a rivalry. And it's one of those games, when you talk about rivalry games, throw the records out the window, and literally the picture we have on the TV is against Georgia, which is kind of ironic. But, when these two teams go on the field, throw the records out the window, you never know what's going to happen because the familiarity between both sides with Georgia guys and South Carolina guys on each of the respective rosters. What are your memories from the South Carolina Georgia series? Because obviously you were on teams 2000 and 2001 that were able to get those guys, and those were two incredible games for different reasons. And you've obviously again played between the hedges. You've played them in a sold out Willie B. Like, what do you remember your memories from that Carolina Georgia rivalry?
I mean, it's I think for most fans would agree with me. Besides the Clemson game, this is the biggest game of the year. This is one that it is a rivalry game, even though before 2000, because from 2000 to 2020, I'd be willing to bet that it's close to even on wins and losses, except Georgia's had our number here for besides last year, I guess about 3 or 4 years in a row. But other than that, I mean, it's a super close game every time. When you got Georgia on the schedule and it's Georgia week, I mean, just especially me being from Georgia, the juices just get flowing a little more. I don't know why. It's just it gets everybody excited, but it is a hard fought rival because you have guys on both teams from each state. You have guys from South Carolina that play on Georgia. You have guys from Georgia that play at South Carolina, whatever. And a lot of those guys played against each other in high school. There were several Georgia guys that when I played against in high school. I'll never forget the starting D tackle for Georgia. Me and him played against each block. I blocked him in high school, and I blocked him in college too. So it's just kind of one of those things. But to me, there was nothing better. I mean, the Georgia game is just a great game. I mean, the 2000 Georgia game was wild and crazy. I was getting redshirted that year, so I actually sat in the student section for that game and got a little out of control. I ran out on the field, and then I wound up running into the locker room after the game just to hear what Coach had to say, and celebrate with my teammates. And but 2001 was a great one too. But they've all been so close. I mean, 2002. The pitch to Pinnock, and man,
that one hurt. Man. that was the Pollock game too.
It was just that game. Whew, I hate even talking about that game. And then the 2004 game, my senior year, I hate talking about that one too because we were up 16-0 at halftime. We were up 16-0 at halftime. I think Georgia was ranked like number 3 in the country at the point. But that went in. They come back and beat us. We didn't score a point the whole second half. We actually it was very reminiscent of 2002. We're down there on the goal line. I think it was a 4th and 1, and Coach Holtz decided, hey, we're going to run a naked bootleg and just let Don Drummond run it. And I did not want to do that. I wanted to line up, quarterback sneak. Let's get the first down, then let's get the win. Well, it wound up not working out. They wouldn't listen to me, I guess. But yeah, man, the Georgia rivalry is something it's real. I mean, even though Georgia has owned the series, and, I grew up a Georgia fan, but I think that's part of the reason I don't like Georgia is because Jim Donnan, he was a coach, only signed didn't sign. I don't think they signed one offensive lineman my senior year coming out of high school. So they didn't offer me a scholarship. So I was like, you know what? I'm going somewhere else. So basically, my two choices of schools came down between Auburn and South Carolina. And I came here on my visit and just kind of loved it here. And Coach Holtz kind of helped on that too. But yeah, so that's what I think of the Georgia week. It's a big time game, and but as far as the game this Saturday, I think there's just too many defensive guys opted out or injured for us to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You hear Bobo going down the list of guys that are banged up. And I mean, it's that time of year. I mean, you're late in the season, but it's like, good God, are we gonna have enough to field a team?
Yeah, you know, when he said it yesterday, there was 16. I didn't realize it was that many. I thought it was about 12 or about 12, but he said 16. I was just like, what? 16? Down 16 scholarship guys. Think about that.
Yeah, that hurts.
And there's only 11 guys that play on that side of the ball on the field at a time, and there's 16 scholarship players out or injured or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a challenge. Like I said, it's kind of ironic this game falls during rivalry week, though. It feels very, very appropriate. Last thing, John, before I get you out of here, just really quickly, obviously, again, the challenge that's at hand this Saturday, and then you go to Kentucky to close it out. And obviously, it's been a tumultuous season, especially the last couple of weeks. You lose your head coach. Just what you want to see from this team the last 2 weeks. Is there anything specifically, I mean, other than going out there and, like we kind of said last week, playing for the name on the front of the jersey, just playing your tail off, and whatever happens.
Well, obviously, that's a big part of it. You want to play hard. I want to see that. They did play hard last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I actually thought they played super hard last week. The defense looked great last week. The second half, I actually went back and watched the game because it was just on TV. And I flipped it over to SEC Network, and it was on TV. So it was the second half. But watching those guys on defense play the second half, dude, they were excited. I mean, every time they were making plays, I mean, it was like it was a big time, top 5 game. I mean, that's how the guys looked on the field. And so you want to see that. But I just want to see some progression, especially from some of the young players, especially at wide receiver. And if Doty's playing quarterback, I want to see what he can do. Maybe a full game by himself with arguably one of the best defenses in the conference. So I don't know. I'm more or less just right now just looking at the young guys and what we have coming back for next year and what the future looks like. That's kind of what I'm looking at in these next 2 games. I think the Kentucky game is very winnable.
Oh yeah,
100%. Actually, I don't think Kentucky's that good. Their offenses went down the tube.
Yeah, so. I'm surprised how bad they've been. Honestly, I thought they were going to be much better.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just want to see guys play hard, and all these coaches on staff. They need the guy to play hard because guess what?
They're coaching for a job.
They're coaching for a job, whether it's here or somewhere else. So, just want to see the guys play hard, man, give good effort, which they did last week, even though we lost the game. I don't know what was going on with the offense first half, but whatever.